He is the main event this weekend at UFC Vegas 91. It's Matheus Nicolau next to me right here. He's taking on Alex Perez in the flyweight division. First of all, Matheus, how are you doing?
Hello, Marcel. Thank you for having me here. I'm doing great, man. Last days before the fight, focus now on sharpening the tools, like the final sharpening of the tools and getting the weight cut. Everything is doing good. The weight is going down, so everything is right the way we plan. So I'm ready, lock and load.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man, because yeah, you always come to fight, and yeah, we haven't seen you for a year, and that's because of you were booked in January actually to fight Manel Kape. Let's talk about that before we talk about the Perez fight. That didn't happen. Manel didn't make weight. I don't know how it went in the back because he says that you didn't want to fight him anymore because he didn't make weight, but I don't know your side of the story. So if you want to give us your side of the story, I would love to hear it.
Yeah, let's talk about this pretty quickly
Yeah.
because I think that right now the thing that we supposed to talk more is about Alex, the guy who took the fight with 4 days notice. So that's the guy we have to put the respect and talk about him. But yes, I knew that kind of question you happened for sure. Yes, actually, I fought on April, and then I was like training. Thanks God, I was not injured and nothing, so I could go back to training soon. And I was just waiting for the UFC. And then they offer us a fight in December, which we accepted, but we couldn't make it because of the other side, of the Manel side. And then they come back weeks later with the January date. We also accepted. And then we get to the fight. Emmanuel was 3.5 pounds over the weight, which is a huge weight miss,
Mhm.
especially in the flyweight division. And why I didn't accept the fight is because I didn't see him struggling to make weight. I I I'm not sure, but I think it was part of his strategy. I don't know if he had some problem in the middle of the training camp, stuff like that. But this is always happening. I have problems before a lot of fights, like staph infections and everything. I'll not be talking about that a lot right now, but I always have problems before fight. I think 9% of the fighters, they have some kind of problem in the middle of the training camp, training hard, injuries, and stuff like that. And in my opinion, he got there and he was too healthy. I've been in the game for 10 plus years. My
Mhm.
first MMA fight, I was 17 years old, so it was like 12 years ago, and then more than 12 years ago. And then you can see when someone is struggling to make weight, when he's trying, he cannot make weight, and when someone is kind of healthy. He was like chubby. He was like all good, walking fast. You cannot walk fast when you are just making weight, especially if you get to a point that, oh, I cannot make weight anymore, like I'm that much bad, that much debilitated. And I didn't saw that. I saw him too healthy, so in my mind he was trying to get an advantage, and that's why I didn't get the fight. It was not fair. Today I think it's about the rules that we have today is too convenient for the guy to do not make weight because he just lost a small percent of his show purse.
Mhm.
If he do win, he got his win purse completely, and also he get a victory in his record. And when he got a victory in his record doesn't show that he was overweight or something like that, and his career just go and continue in a good way. So that's why I didn't accept the fight, because it was not fair. I made all the struggles to make weight. I
Mhm.
woke up like 5 in the morning, start to cut weight. I cut 3.8 kilos that morning. It was almost 4 kilos, which is a huge work to do. So I got to respect myself. I got to respect my work. And if I do not do that, nobody will do. So that's why me and my team, we took the we didn't took the fight,
Yeah.
because we want to be respect. We want that fight to be on equal, like a
Equal
fair
levels.
fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure. So that's the only question. So the only reason. So that's it, man. It's not that I didn't want to fight him. I wanted to fight him. I accept the fight in December. I accept the fight in January. I make the weight. I make everything that I signed for. But for fight with me, you got to be on, on the fairway. You're not
Uh,
gonna fight with me having a
yeah,
advantage like that.
I agree. I just wanted to give you the chance to explain because, if it's on the internet, a lot of people are going to say like, why you didn't take the fight? So now you make yourself clear, and I think it's a clear story, and I respect it. So let's move on from this topic and go to Alex Perez. He took the fight. He's stepping in for Manel Kape here. Um, Important fight, man. I mean, you were really close to a title shot last time. Didn't go your way in April last year. Now you're back a year later fighting Alex Perez. Alex Perez, he lost his last three fights, but still he lost to the former champion, the current champion, and the big up and coming prospect, and he's a former title challenger. So great fight. What do you expect from this fight, man, against Alex Perez?
All respect for Alex, he's a great martial artist. Like you said, he come from a three defeats, but all really tough fight. And especially the last one, he did a great job. I think he looked amazing inside the octagon. No, he did a great job against a huge prospect. Some people said that he won the fight. The fight was close. Uh, yeah, man, he's a really complete fighter. He likes the fight. He's really dangerous on the striking game. He has a really good grappling game as well. He has the wrestling background. So I expect to be the toughest challenge of my career. That's kind of mentality I have in all the fights. I respect all the opponents that I have, and I respect all the weapons, and I'm ready to fight against him. So for sure, it's gonna be a huge fight for the fans and a huge fight for my career. What is more important for me doesn't matter who I'm fighting with. What is more important for me right now is to get back to the winning column and get back to achieve my goal. To step by step go high on the mountain and get closer to the belt. But right now, I'm not thinking on the belt. I'm just thinking about fight, especially because the way how my last fight was, and there's more than a year that I don't fight, and then I was supposed to fight, and the fight didn't happen. So what I really want right now is to perform. Is to put everything that I train, everything that I'm prepared for inside the octagon. I want to have fun out there. I want to give my best. I want to go to a great fight and to get a victory. So that's what's in my mind right now.
Yeah, I understand. And I mean, it's your first main event in the UFC, right? I wanted to ask you because next week we have the Rio de Janeiro card, the UFC 301, and you're fighting a week before. And all the fans are always now when there is a Brazilian card and they see a Brazilian not on the Brazilian card, it's like, why they are not on the Brazilian card? Wouldn't you have loved to fight in Brazil? Or are you like, this is my first main event? It's good for me as well?
Yeah, exactly like you said. Like, it would be good to fight in Brazil for sure. In the front of the Brazilian fans, a lot of friends could come to the fight. But I think for this moment of my career to do a main event, is better for me, especially because of the 5 rounds experience. I've always talked to my team, to my managers that we need that before the title fight. I need to have that experience, and not just about to training for 5 rounds to fight 5 rounds, but to deal with everything that a main event comes with. Is more experience that we put in, and this will be great. It will be a great experience. It's a huge honor to be doing a main event of the UFC. It's part of my dreams. It's awesome to see your goals and your dreams like coming true, and I'm really excited, motivated, and a lot of gratitude to give my best and take the best of this opportunity.
Yeah, of course. I'm really looking forward to it. I gotta ask you, are you gonna be in the crowd next week in Brazil? Are you attending?
No,
No?
I don't have this plan because Luana, my wife, she's gonna
Yeah.
fight on May 18th. So
Mhm.
we'll keep in Vegas all the way into her fight because it doesn't make too much sense to go fly all the way back to Brazil and
Yeah.
fly all the way back here. But with a good win, if UFC wants me there, they can book me a flight. I go there and I go back really quick so I can watch the fight on the front row, the first row, and it'll be awesome too. I'm open to do it.
Okay. Well, let's hope you can make it. I want to ask you, are you really big on like how do you say that about what you did in the earlier? I mean, I think you're the only guy in the UFC with a Japanese necktie. Is that right?
I don't know, sure, but I know that I was the first
Yeah,
because I remember when I finished like that. People say, "Hey, it's the first time you see the Japanese necktie in a UFC." And so
yeah.
that was fun. It was my first fight in the UFC. Was a great way to finish. It's a submission that I like to do a lot. Maybe we can see that happen again on Saturday.
Yeah, well, no, then you're for sure the first guy with two Japanese neckties in the UFC. So uh,
Yes,
it's a really rare submission. I mean, Peruvian necktie you see more often, but Japanese necktie is not that common to see. I got one more question for you, and it's a pretty out of the box question, and I ask it to every Brazilian fighter I talk to. So you guys have a lot of big stars, a big legacy of mixed martial arts in Brazil. You got a lot of legends over there. And are you familiar with the Mount Rushmore, the American presidents in the USA with the four heads in the mountain? You know what I mean?
yes,
Yeah. So I want to ask you your Mount Rushmore of Brazilian fighters, and you can put in everybody you think should be on the Mount Rushmore, but it has to be four people.
four people only. Okay, let's start with Rickson Gracie because he was the guy who I fall in love about martial arts was by watching him. So he's the guy that I'm here today for sure because I was watching Rickson Gracie VHS. So Rickson Gracie, Anderson Silva, Jose Aldo, and let's go to someone for the present moment. I will say Charles Oliveira because he's doing a great job, and I like his career, the way he's starting the UFC. He has a long road to the belt, and today, like years after he started the UFC, he's been in his best moment. So Charles deserves.
Awesome. I love that Mount Rushmore. Matheus, thank you so much for taking the time talking to me today. I know you're a very busy schedule, and I hope we stay in touch. Wish you all the best on Saturday. Looking forward to the fight. And thank you so much, man.
Thank you, my man. It was a pleasure to be here. Huge honor, and for sure, gonna talk soon again.